Welcome, my name is Colleen Tauke and I'm the sewing specialist at Funds and Porter. In this Quilting Quickly tutorial, I'll show you how to put together the blocks for the quilt 88. If you'd like to purchase this pattern, please visit our website. Okay, you can see in the quilt behind me that the blocks form somewhat of the number 8, therefore the name 88. We'll look here on the sewing surface and we'll see the isolated block itself, and the blocks in this quilt are made from 2.5-inch wide strips in a variety of kind of jewel toned fabrics, and we're using a background that's patterned kind of a shirting, but it's very subtle so it doesn't compete too much with the 88 block. Okay, we'll take these out of the way here. And let's look at how we construct the basic block for this quilt. I've got one broken into rows in a very similar fabric. I'm going to lay them out for you, and you'll see that it's simply 4 rows to make the block. Now, if I were to reorient these, you will notice that all 4 of the rows are constructed in the same manner. So we're going to be using like strips, matching strips. Once you cut off your fabrics, keep them together in a cluster so that each block has its matching units for you to construct. So let's get into figuring out how to make this strip. There are many ways you could probably approach it, but we're trying to make it the most streamlined possible. What we're going to be using is a rectangle, that's this piece here, the triangle you see in the center. Then we're going to be using 2 more rectangles and 2 squares. And you think, rectangles and squares. I don't see any diagonals in any of that. How do we construct it? With the same technique throughout, I'll show you how we can make this block. What we're going to do is we're going to be working first, and your pattern instructions will have really great diagrams for this to keep you oriented, but you're going to be starting with this background fabric here and one of the prints or colors that in your 2.5-inch strips. You're going to take that rectangle and you're going to place them in this manner. Like, I'm going to be looking at this one as my pattern. You're going to be actually looking at the quilting pattern. It's easy to get disoriented, so that's why I'm saying the diagrams are really great that we put into our patterns. So we've got 2 rectangles here, and this isn't normal placement. What we need to do, though, as you can see over here, we're going to get to a seam that's diagonal across the corner, but it's hard to see where to start. So what you want to do is just to be able to see that the underneath fabric, the corner's right there. So I'm going to put my ruler corner to corner. Once these are actually right sides together, this is when I'm going to be marking them, not ahead of time. If you had them separately, you wouldn't know where to place the angle along this side of the block. So diagonally, corner to corner, from the underside fabric to the corner of the top fabric. And then you're going to stitch diagonally across the block all the way. And then you're going to be opening this out and pressing. I'm just going to finger press here so that you can see there is that first angle appearing for the pieces that go into this block. Now, once you have that pressed with the iron, you're going to take away that underneath triangle. Don't need all those extra layers, and you can use a scissors for that simple trimming. Now, we need the next angle. So we're going to be using this fabric. And then you have to think about, how do I create an angle? Right sides together. We're going to stitch this direction now. So again, it's about trying to figure out where that fabric underneath is, so you can place your ruler right at the corner and you can feel it with your finger when you're actually working on the pieces yourself, and then to this lower corner of this rectangle here. So this would be my next stitching line. Diagonally, corner to corner, and open out. And I've got one done at that point, stitched and pressed. So now we can take those out. We've gotten to this point. All we need now is the triangles out here. And you've probably done diagonal seams method. If you haven't, this is what we're working on. Again, marking, but this time on a square, we can mark from corner to corner. and that will be our stitching line for both sides. We're going to do another one over here. We're going to mark it also with a ruler. We're going to mark corner to corner, and whoops, we do want to mark dark enough so we can actually see our stitching line. There we go. And you're going to sew corner to corner and flip those outward. Now you've created that basic unit. You're going to create 4 of them alike. Remember I said to keep those pieces together so that you can actually construct the block. 2, 3, 4. You're going to seam these together to make the basic block. Now you're going to work down through all of your prints to create your blocks. And when you've got 56 blocks created, you're going to be putting them together with a sashing bar. You'll see that there's kind of a window painting effect in the quilt. That navy blue background dot is the field that all the 88 blocks work into, and that the blocks go from one direction to the other, back and forth across the quilts. And then add the matching border of the navy blue print and finish with kind of a plum color binding, and you've created your own version of 88. For more of our Quilting Quickly tutorials, visit our website. Thanks for joining me today.